as it also propelled them up in the Big 12 standings.
Well, and whistle blows, Kansas strikes first.
Now a net violation. Looks like that one was called on Roberta Rebello, I believe. Potentially also could have been Claire Jeter called on that one.
We're seeing Rebello and we are seeing Jillian Neal in the starting rotation for Arizona State, something we haven't seen that often as Sear comes through with the attack, and on the return it goes out of bounds. There's the first point for the Sun Devils.
And that comes from Jelly Sear, who's been the strongest hitter for the Sun Devils this season. Sear already at 293 kills, so just 7 tonight, and she will hit that 300 mark. She's been everything the Sun Devils have needed.
The team leader in kills for Arizona State, Jelly Sear, strikes first for Arizona State. Here's a block at the net from Jelly. Now the Jayhawks will try again from the 10-foot line. It's pushed over. With the set swing from Colheed, and that's down for the second point.
Savannah Colheed, like you mentioned, how strong this team is, she is one of the reasons for that. Typically we'll see her hitting a slide approach behind the setter, but with 3 front row hitters right now, she comes in front, fakes out the offense.
Here's a serve from Claire Jeter. Jayhawks on the attack, they get the point. Caroline Bien, the Overland Park, Kansas native, ties the game up.
Bien, one of the strongest players on this Kansas team from a lot of different perspectives. She was the 2021 Big 12 Freshman of the Year, now in her senior season playing with that same fire she has her entire career.
Ung sets it up. Here's a hard swing from Roberta Rebella for a point.
And Rebello has really worked her way into this starting lineup. Just a few weeks ago, she was riding the bench most of the games, switching out with Bailey Miller for that opposite spot. And after a couple big performances, especially one where against U of A, she came in the middle of the game. She's really cemented herself into this lineup.
Rebello from Brazil, a graduate outside hitter, now living in the desert. On the slide, there's the Jayhawks. At the net, whistle blows, and that's a net violation on Kansas.
And it looked like on that one, the ball didn't even really get over the net. Jelly Sear able to kind of get a hand on it for the block, but Kansas made their own mistake.
Back to serve, it's Bryn Covell, the transfer from Texas A&M. She didn't play there her first season. She's a redshirt freshman now with Arizona State. Nice dig there from Mary Schroll. It goes too wide left, though. The diving attempt from Covell isn't enough. 4-3 Sun Devils.
The block there set up just a little bit too inside, so the hitter was able to go down the line right at Schroll. She was right under it, just wasn't able to get it up towards the middle of the court. Her angle was a little off.
Serving for the Jayhawks, the biggest name in the conference, one of them at least, Cameron Turner, as there's a service error for her.
And Turner, like you mentioned, one of the biggest players in the conference. She's the setter of this team. She's at 817 assists already this season, so we're going to see her with a lot of fire. She was a Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week she had an honor last year, so a big player for the Kansas Jayhawks.
On the slide once again, and the point for the Jayhawks. They keep feeding Heidi Devers on the slide on the near side.
And that one off the block for Kansas, able to get the point there.
5-4 Arizona State. Kansas been looking a little out of system early on in this match. They're keeping it within 1 against the 11th ranked Arizona State Sun Devils. Back to serve, it comes across. It's received by Cromartie. They'll feed it back to her. She swings, and there's a kill for Shania Cromartie.
Cromartie, the 5'9" grad student from Tallahassee, Florida, originally from Mississippi State. This is her second season in Tempe. Has been really strong for the Sun Devils after working her way from a more defensive position last year to now a starter this season.
It was the Cromartie show in their win against Utah. She led the team in kills with 10. On the swing, nice dig from Sear. Now they give it to Cromartie, who knuckles it across. Set by Turner. Swing and a kill for the Jayhawks.
And that one just goes right between Sear and Schroll in that kind of angle position. Neither one of them able to get to it in time. Sear with a diving move at the last second, but wasn't quick enough to catch that one.
Jayhawks staying within this one, keeping it a 1-point match, 6-5 Arizona State. Here's Covell, feeds it to Ung, she slams it down. Argentina Ung can do it all, the team's Swiss Army knife.
Like you mentioned, she can do it all from the setting perspective, from a hitting perspective. She spent her first 4 seasons of collegiate volleyball at Washington State. Her first 2 of those, she was primarily used as an outside hitter. So she definitely has the tools to make an impact on both sides of this game.
In their 3-0 win against Utah, she collected her 5th double-double of the season, Argentina did. There's the dig from Sear. Sets it up to Robello. Nice dig by Burns that time from Kansas. They'll try again on offense. Schroll pass to Cromartie. Kansas again. Sear moving to her right. Gets the dig. Now Cromartie is blocked at the net.
And that block, London Davis on the right side, able to get both hands over, seal off that net. That rally also had a lot of great defense. Reagan Burns had a couple of really big pickups. So did Jelly Sear for ASU, which is why that rally went on so long.
Yeah, both of these teams highly ranked in Big 12 statistics, and you can kind of see the quality of play already as Claire Jeter goes a little wide left here, and the Jayhawks tied up at 7s.
Bit of an uncharacteristic error from Claire Jeter, as she's been one of the strongest hitters on this team. Coming into this match, only had 16 hitting errors the entire season.
Yeah, one of the more efficient hitters in the Big 12 Conference, second in conference hit percentage, as Robello gets blocked at the net.
And that one came Cameron Turner on the right side, now the setter front row. Blocking has been an issue for the Sun Devils. They face strong blocks a lot this season. So we'll see if they're able to rise above it with another strong blocking opponent.
And Kansas with the most blocks in the Big 12. So a tough competition for them as Robello gets this one to go down.
Able to find a hole there, force Kansas to make that mistake coming off the net. She was able to squeak that one between the net and Cameron Turner's arms for the kill.
So a side out for the Sun Devils, tied at 8. Jillian Neal, the serving specialist, back deep. Knuckled serve there. Pass by Burns from the 10-foot line. Jelly Sear gets stopped at the net. What do you know? It's London Davis again.
And that the third block already for Kansas in this game. We've only been going for 17 points or so. Already picked up 3 blocks.
And for ASU, that is kind of the story of what they need to overcome to win this match. How will they get around the blocks? As you said, they've struggled with teams that block well this season. As Robello with authority brings it down, ties the game up at 9s.
And Robello, like we've mentioned, has been incredibly important for this team in the past few weeks, coming in with an impact. She had a couple of really big blocks in the match against U of A down in Tucson and has since worked her way into this lineup every day.
Here's Claire Jeter with some side spin on that serve there. Kansas gets rejected. Savannah Golheed says no.
And there's that block we've been talking about. We've been waiting for ASU, not a particularly strong blocking team, and they don't have as much, height for their team, but when they get on it, they can get a big block like that one.
A monster block for the Indiana transfer who currently leads the team at 76 coming into this game as Cameron Turner collects another kill. Jayhawks rotates. Some Sun Devils do as well. Yes. Received by Sear. Here she is with the top spin. Ball juggled around. Nice job by the Kansas offense to get that one over. On the side, it's Golheed.
And that, an interesting play to run, seeing as Roberta Robello is still front row. A quick slide just behind the setter, almost a back one with that 1-foot takeoff. She's able to get that with the sheer speed that they run that approach and how fast the set went up. And they're able to get the kill there on that really efficient swing.
That's the identity of this offense, working with speed, and that appears to be the game plan to combat the blocking efficiency of Kansas. As they get stuffed at the net, Boone tried to punch it over. Jayhawks trying to improvise with some topspin this time. They can't get it over. Caroline Bien can't get it across. 12-10 Arizona State.
And that their crowd, seeing it was a block, didn't quite hit the net, but excellent placement from the blockers on that ball.
It's Covell serving again. From the 10-foot line, there's El Nadi. Now Sear, she gets rejected, but it went off an arm and out of bounds, so a point for the Devils.
And that one, Cameron Turner had her right arm over. She didn't quite reach around the ball, so it goes off her right arm, rolls across the net into the antenna. She didn't quite get around it as much as she wanted to.
13-10 now, Arizona State on a 3-0 scoring run. As Turner sets it up on the slide, it's good.
And that one, Reese Ptasek on the slide there, showing that they have that efficiency from the middle blockers, same as the Sun Devils do.
That slide has just been what Kansas keeps going back to whenever they're in doubt, similar to the Colheed slide that we'll see on Van Neel's squad. So 13-11 now. Ung sets it up. There's the slide from Colheed. Nice receive from Turner. Ung hits the reset button. Now with a nice touch there, it's Jelly Sear. Here comes Kansas, and that one barely in on the attack from London Davis.
An incredible dig early on in that rally from Cameron Turner. On that slide, the ball was coming directly across the court with her with a lot of pace, and she was able to get that ball up. That's what keeps this rally alive for the Jayhawks.
Here's Colheed on the slide again. There's London punching it across. Covell with a high lob. Sear times it up. Nice recovery there from Kansas. They send it back across. Ung over a body on the ground. Sear, and that one hit off some fingertips. Point for the Sun Devils.
An excellent swing from Sear. She was able to get that micro touch off the fingertips, one that's not exactly evident to the line judges, but the up ref is right there, able to see that one. And that's what you want from a hitter, is to be able to get those tiny, tiny touches for the point.
Arizona State up by 2 over number 8 Kansas, as Jelly Sear sends this one over. Turner, and it's stuffed by Ung and Colheed at the net.
That one, Ung was in the right place. She just didn't get her arm around it, similar to the one Cameron Turner had just a few points ago. That one goes out of bounds, but excellent positioning from the blockers.
KU brings it within 1. Student section getting rowdy. A packed house here on a Wednesday evening. Cromartie, free ball over from the 10-foot. They wind up. Here's the swing off some hands. Point Jayhawks.
That was Aya El Nadi, who leads this Kansas team in kills. She has 204 coming into this match. She's been what this team has been relying on from a hitting perspective. Outside hitter from Cairo, Egypt.
Caroline Bien sends it over. Cromartie receives. Ung back over to Cromartie, and she's wide right. Kansas up 15-14. Student section gets loud as Schroll receives this one. Ung on the slide. Colheed off some hands, and there's a point for the Devils, tied at 15.
And on that slide, she went down the line rather than her trademark cross-court shot, able to get the touch off the block there straight away. And an excellent eyes from Colheed to see the blocker there and take advantage of it. Second
kill of the match for Savannah Colheed as Schroll sends this one over to Kansas as they bring the heat. Ung feeds Jeter. She slams it. Nice dig from Cameron Turner. From the 10-foot line, here's Cromartie swinging. Nice diving dig from Bien. Good rally here between these two, but punching it into the antenna is Reagan Burns. Point Devils.
And some incredible defense from the Jayhawks there. A couple of times where it looked like the ball was going to drop, that ASU was going to get away with the kill. And then good pickups from Cameron Turner, Caroline Bien, Reagan Burns, able to keep that rally alive.
Yeah, we kind of knew going to this one it'd be battle the defenses, as both of these teams are top 5 in the Big 12 in digs. There's one right there from Mary Schroll. So you just kind of knew that was going to be the vibe of this game just by looking at those numbers. Good communication there from Arizona State, diving in the powder blue jersey as Cameron Turner, as that swing is a little too long off the arm of London Davis. There's a point for the Devils. They're now up by 2 once again.
And that one, Jelly Sear able to get out of the way at the last second. One line ref called it out, the other called it in. So she was able to get out of the way. That one was going towards her head.
Davis was trying to go for her 4th kill of the set. Instead, it's a 17-15 advantage for the Sun Devils as Schroll sends this one across on the slide. Gets blocked by Shania Cromartie. She's got the bunnies.
Cromartie, like we mentioned, only 5'9", plays like she is much taller. Has 20 blocks on the season coming into this match, so she's been efficient from a blocking perspective and picks one up here.
Standing in at 5'9", Shania Cromartie brings the roof, and it forces 1% win percentage for Ray Bouchard, and he's inducted into 3 different Hall of Fames, the NJCAA volleyball coaches, the Barton County Community College where he coached prior, and the Kansas Volleyball Association Hall of Fame. So certainly some respect on his name there as Sear swings from the 10-foot line. Racing around to get that one is Cameron Turner with some finessery there is London Davis. Everyone standing flat-footed until Shania Cromartie sends it across.
Able to get the kill there on a bit of an off-speed shot. Cameron Turner down the line expecting a hard driven. And so when that one just barely gets over the block and drops at the 10-foot line, she wasn't able to get to it in time. So just a great swing from Cromartie, able to get the defense, catch him lacking.
Biggest lead of the night for either side, 19-15. As getting rejected at the net is El Nadi. Now they'll try it with Davis. Nice dig from Schroll. Sear from the 10-foot with the fingertips. Turner. Nice dig from Sear once again. Now it's Jeter with some side spin. Ooh, nice dig there from Reagan Burns. Sending it across on the free ball is Kansas. Now it's Chenille with some authority.
That rally, an amazing test of both teams and their strength and grit. A lot of big pickups from the Jayhawks, able to pick up some random shots, some off speed. And Jelly Sear and Mary Schroll having strong digs in the back row for the Sun Devils as well.
ASU just playing so clean right now. You can see that in J.J. Van Niel, a guy who doesn't show that much emotion, pumping his fist and screaming at his players. As the whistle blows, looks like it was a net violation on Arizona State. The point goes to Kansas.
And that net violation called on Claire Jeter, the middle blocker. Just got a little too close to the net on that one, maybe a little overexcited to try and get the block there.
So that ends a 5-0 scoring run for the Sun Devils. They're up by 4 against Kansas. It's 20-16 as Covell feeds Jeter and she slaps it down on top of Cameron Turner's head. 21-16, they get it right back.
And Bryn Covell, as she steps off the court right now, has been a stalemate for the Sun Devils in the back row. She comes in when Argentina Ung is front row, gives him a second option for setting, also as a defensive specialist, a role that she wasn't even really considered for at the beginning of the season.
Ung sends it across. She's one of the best servers on the Sun Devil team. As this one's too hot to handle for Jelly Sear, it takes off her forearm and shoots into the VIP section. 21-17 Sun Devils. As Van Niel showing some emotion pacing down the bench. You don't see this often. I kind of like seeing this out of coach with some character. Sear receives it. Here comes Cromartie. Ooh, trying to cut that one across the net. Went a little too shallow there. Couldn't even get it over. 21-18 Sun Devils.
You mentioned J.J. Van Niel and showing his emotion. He typically stays seated for most of the game, stands up in tense moments here and there, but see him up and moving around early in this game just shows the magnitude of what this match means to ASU.
Nice fake there from Claire Jeter. Jayhawks trying to respond, and off of Cromartie and Jeter, Kansas gets another point. They're starting to race back into this one.
So they have a history of strong matches there.
21-19 as Kansas sends it across. Good placement there from Jeter, but a nice diving stop there from Kansas. Here's Ung. She feeds Cromartie in a tight space there. KU. Blocked by Robello and Jeter. They'll try once again. Nice dig from Schroll. Perfect placement to Argentina as Cromartie sends it across. Wow, diving stop there from Burns. Now it's Jeter. Another nice dig from Burns, but it goes out of bounds.
And Claire Jeter able to put the exclamation point on that rally. Cromartie had a couple of really great swings from the left side, but Reagan Burns was there to get the digs. And the Kansas defense has been holding up, forcing ASU to play long rallies.
I mean, Burns has just highlighted that defense. She has had already a handful of excellent plays, diving to her left and punching it with one hand with accuracy too. Not just keeping it alive, but sending it across the net. As getting stopped by Jelly Sear, but it deflects off her forearm out of bounds. 22-20 Sun Devils.
And that one, Toyosi on a banjo. On the slide approach, she's able to get the tool off the block there.
On a banjo with the highest hit percentage on this team. 4-4-4 for the Jayhawks as Kansas can't get that serve over the net. Anaya El Nadi.
And now Claire Jeter steps back to serve. The middle blocker has been really efficient from the Sun Devils from a serving perspective, and that's something that J.J. Van Niel has talked a lot about, is making his middles stronger servers.
23-20 Arizona State, as there's a kill for Onabanjo, who has come out of nowhere and made her name known in this match.
2 kills for her in just the last couple points. She's starting to heat up for Kansas, and that's what they need, is a strong, balanced attack from all sides to offset the defense that ASU is able to put up.
Onabanjo, arguably one of the most talented players on this KU roster, as she leads the Big 12 in hit percentage. She's also 5th in the country in that statistic as well. So for ASU, you'd like for her to not pick up speed, as the Jayhawks get that one over on the block.
And that block, Reese Tosick and Cameron Turner able to stop the swing there, pulling them within 1.
23-22. Crowd starting to get into it. A filled out Mullet Arena in a midweek matchup. Nice tip from McGee to try to keep it up. KU sends it across. Un up to Colheed. She gets stuffed. They'll try once more, this time to Robello. It's too long.
And now when she was looking, try to find those holes and play it as simple as they can, not trying to add too much craziness.
Looking for smarter swings out of Arizona State as Un gets it up to Robello. She brings it down hard, and El Nani can't get there. ASU takes the lead, and it's set point.
And that's exactly what I'm referring to when I'm talking about smart swings. That one, she goes up, she takes the swing right in the seam because there's only a solo block. She goes off the right arm of the blocker, able to get that kill. That doesn't happen unless she's looking for a smart swing.
Bryn Covell with the set on the line, sends it across with some backspin. Here's Turner, sends it up high, and Schroll can't get there. Caroline Bien with the kill.
And that one, Savannah Colheed jumped with the setter. Cameron Turner was front row, and so that left a one-on-one for Caroline Bien. And from the block, Argentina Ung was set up too far outside. She's trying to protect the line. And that goes back to playing smart, putting up a double block, just getting over, putting 4 hands right across, not trying to do much from a movement perspective. Just getting the block up and letting the defense play around it is incredibly important.
Got to win by 2, 25-24. Here comes Jelly Sear with some topspin there, and the Sun Devils take set 1. Oh, maybe in set 2. There were some moments against U of A. Obviously, Utah, or check that, BYU went in 5 sets, but it just makes that Baylor loss that much more confusing.
I agree, but what's the important thing since that is that after that game, they've been on a 10-game winning streak. They've been able to overcome that loss, and Baylor has since dropped in the rankings, proving that, yes, it was a bit of a head-scratcher, but they've been able to recover and play much better since then.
A good eye from Shania Cromartie there to let that serve go long after it ricocheted off her forearm wide left. Match tied up, or set tied up at 1 apiece.
In comes Jillian Neal to serve, the serving specialist sophomore out of San Diego, California. She has 26 aces, leads the team from that statistic, and she just comes in to serve in this rotation for Shania Cromartie. Additionally, occasionally plays some defense or comes in the front row, but that's been her job.
Claire Jeter brings the roof right at the net. Arizona State up 2-1.
And that solo block, incredibly important because it is a one-on-one. And in those one-on-one matchups, 9 times out of 10, the hitter is supposed to win. And Claire Jeter proving at that point that she can win too, and she's able to put the roof on it.
Jeter entered this match with 60 blocks, as there's a service error for Arizona State.
And that's what we see, a little bit of that serving aggressively, ends up with that serve in the net. Neal was likely going for a bit flatter of a serve rather than a loopy serve, maybe even trying to get it off the tape, and just misses.
Caroline Bien with the right hand is received by Cromartie. Ung with the uncomfortable pass to Jeter. They get it across, though. Now it's Kansas diving to her knees as Argentina Ung. Here comes Sear. She pushes it, and it's a little too long. There's a point for KU.
And that one, she's hoping to get that back corner, touch that line just the tiniest bit. And unfortunately, that ball kept going, and it caught some air as it went and landed even past the lettering on the court rather than just inside like she'd wanted.
Might have got a little bit too much finger on there. Instead of just fingertips, she might have gotten the whole length of the finger. As Ung on the move, gives it to Robello. Now KU. Weird spin as it's looped across the netting. Here comes Sear on the swing, and that one barely inside the white tape.
And there's that spot she was looking for on the previous one. Rather than choosing to try to go for a tip, she went for the swing there, had a little bit of an off speed rather than her trademark heavy hit, but able to catch the corner of the court for the point.
Here comes Claire Jeter with some extra oomph on that serve. Set goes a little too long, and that's a point for Arizona State. The feed that time to London Davis was kind of in an awkward area. She hits it wide right, 4-3 ASU.
And that one, she pushed it just outside of the block, so excellent positioning for the block to not get in the way of that one.
Here's Jeter again, this time with no spin. Turner, there's a loud swing right there from Devers. ASU keeps it alive, though. Ung sends it across now. Regrouping is Burns. Another big swing. It's dug out by El Nadi with the swing there. KU once more. El Nadi tries again. Another dig, this time from Claire Jeter. Ung feeds it up to Sear. Nice dig that time from Kansas. Ung. Now they'll try to Robello, and she hits it off the right shoulder of Caroline Pien. 5-3 Sun Devils.
And what an incredible rally there. We saw some amazing defensive plays. Claire Jeter, the middle in left back, was able to just get in front of those balls, get them up in the air. El Nadi with the heavy swinging on the left side of the court.
On the slide, this one is a little too long for KU, now 6-3 ASU.
And Reese Ptacek there on the slide, unable to keep that one in bounds. An interesting play call there with London Davis front row as well, but able to ASU able to get the point.
Some premier volleyball here in Tempe, Arizona, as that serve from Claire Jeter is too strong. The KU Jayhawks side out.
And that right here shows a little bit of the serving we're going to see more from ASU. We mentioned how they're tops in aces. They also tend to have a fair amount of service errors, and that's what comes with trying to serve tough.
Burns, Cromartie has some trouble receiving it. Nice hustle from Schroll. Ung behind her back sends it over the net. Now Turner sets it up. Another big swing from El Nadi, and a point for Kansas.
And that for Kansas, that's what they want to do, is convert on those balls. On a free ball, the point is to try and get the kill right away, not let the rally keep going. That starts from the serve from Reagan Burns, able to get Cromartie out of system and force the free ball.
1 point lead for ASU. There's another violent swing from Robello. Too aggressive, though, as this one's notched at 6 apiece.
And now I think we're going to see ASU start playing not necessarily more conservatively, but a little bit more smart. Like we mentioned at the end of the first set, those smart swings, as this one is now tied at 6.
Now that more difficulties for Cromartie receiving that one, as this one's dug by Burns. They'll push it across to El Nadi, and getting rejected by Savannah Colheed.
Colheed and Robello there on the block again. They've been a formidable duo from the blocking this season, and even in these recent games. This started at U of A a couple weeks ago. Robello had an incredible block. It ended up on top 5 blocks of the week for NCAA volleyball, and she's been able to make her presence from a blocking perspective known.
Makes sense why she's in the starting lineup against this KU team that has plenty of height on their roster. Here's a lob on top of the head of Colheed. It's still in play. Tough spacing there for Covell. They keep it alive. A whistle blows. It's a point for KU.
And that one hit outside the antenna on the net. As a reminder, if the ball touches any part of the net, it is okay. If it touches the antenna or any part outside of the antennas, it is called out of bounds. So that one there, when Bryn Covell went to try and get it, it had already hit outside the antenna.
Now this one's tied up at 7 apiece. And a rotation here for KU. London Davis comes out. Now back to serve. It's Bryn McGee, Platte City, Missouri native, senior libero from the Midwest. Softly pushes it over to Colheed with the tip there. Now El Nadi goes into no man's land and gives Kansas the lead.
And right there, that's what Kansas needed to try and flip the switch on this game a little bit, is those shots. ASU, we've mentioned the defense is strong, but they're more set up to deal with the hard hits than the off-speed shots.
Colheed on the slide, and bringing the roof is El Nadi. She stares down the former Hoosier Colheed. It's 9-7 Jayhawks.
Colheed thought she had the kill there, thought she had the tool off the block. Her arm just got in the way. The ball bounces off her arm, and now the Jayhawks lead it by 2.
9-7. Cromartie pushes it up. Now Schroll up to Sear. Too hard, and it's 2. Egypt is just getting fed by Cameron Turner tonight. As that serve is too long for the Devils, they finally side out.
And the timeout there iced the server. Bryn McGee goes back after the timeout, unable to keep that one in the court. And that rotates Cromartie into the front row for ASU. So they're able to catch a break now with Jelly Sear in the back row.
2-point deficit for the Sun Devils. As here come the Jayhawks. Tough swing right there from Anna Banjo. And there's a point for the Sun Devils as the Jayhawks can't recover.
And Cromartie there showing a little aggression after all those missed passes. She goes up and gets the block, showing some emotion. She and Colheed combining to stop Anna Banjo on that one.
Sun Devils bring it within 1 as Sear floats this one across on the slide, and a net violation for Arizona State on the attack from Anna Banjo. And
JJ Van Niel getting incredibly annoyed on that one, mad at the call. He is maintaining that the ball did not go over the net. Down ref trying to call either a net violation or a touch off the block for Cromartie. Van Niel trying to pull his challenge card here, immediately showing his emotions.
Yeah, he challenged it right away. He darted towards that yellow challenge card.
Looks like that one is not challengeable though, as he stands up again to talk to his players. Depends on what the call was, but looks like it was a blocking error. So that would be a touch off the block, but for whatever reason, they're not letting him challenge on this play.
So he doesn't get the challenge there. Now the referee tucks it over with Ray Bouchard over for Kansas. Bouchard takes a seat, and we're underway 11-9 Kansas. As Cromartie handles this one fine. Now up to Sear with some aggression from the 10-foot line.
And Jelly Sear after that one, not showing much emotion. She is very much the type of player, as JJ Van Niel has told us, to put her head down and play. She'll show emotion occasionally, but here, that one was business as usual for her.
Act like you've been there before for Jelly Sear. As Mary Schroll with some momentum sends this one across. On the slide is on a Banjo, and Cromartie is there with a rejection.
And Cromartie there showing that there was no question about it. She got the block. She and Claire Jeter combined for the block. Now we're in a tie game. This completely switched the momentum for ASU on just a couple plays.
On a Banjo 4 inches taller than Shania Cromartie. And Cromartie coming through with the block there as this one's pushed across the court. Lengthy swing there from Ryan Swanson. As KU juggles this ball on their side, they'll send it across with Swanson. Here's right at the net. Jeter, what a diving dig there from El Nadi. Doing it all on the court as Anna Banjo puts the capitalization on that set, on that point. 12-11 KU.
And we saw some strong defense there from the Sun Devils, but also strong defense from the Jayhawks as it has been all set. Reagan Burns now stepping off the court, but she was a big part of that rally.
Shows you all the dimensions, too, of El Nadi with that diving dig, able to keep it alive. There's El Nadi again. Jeter was able to slow that one down. Now it's Sear again from the 10-foot line, and this one shoots long as well. 13-11 KU.
And it looked like on that one, the set was too far out in front of her. She had to broad jump to it and was unable to get on top of it. Earlier in the play, I want to point out, Claire Jeter went up to block on the back row attack, something that she hasn't really done so far this set.
Cromartie can't get the feel that time and can't get it across the net. 3-point lead for Kansas.
And I have to wonder, at what point is JJ Van Niel going to make a change, or if he will at all, from the lineup he has on the court?
There's Shania taking her aggression out on that volleyball. She slaps everyone's hands in satisfaction. 14-12. Sun Devils side out.
I spoke too soon on that one. I apologize. And now with Roberta Rebello back in the court, the Sun Devils again, or now have 3 options from the front row.
Here's with some top spin. Turner dumps it across. With a side slap from Jeter, trying to catch KU lacking. Here's a swing and a deflection from Rebella, and Jeter
And that one, Jeter's left hand gets over the net, almost at an angle. She has her shoulders tilted a bit to the left to fill in that hole. The ball just barely glances off her left hand, showing that move she made was incredibly important to getting the stop there.
Claire Jeter, one of those players really good at improvising, trying to hit the ball, block the ball at uncomfortable angles, as KU has a response immediately.
And that one, Jeter did not block on the back row attack, and this is very reminiscent for the Sun Devils of when they played against U of A. Jalen Hodge, the strong outside hitter, was a threat from the back row, and as the game progressed, ASU put up a block against her when she was back row. So we'll have to see if the Sun Devils start doing the same thing against El Nadi as this game progresses.
Nice pancake from Cameron Turner. Jayhawks keep it alive. They tap it over the net. Here comes Ung. There's Cromartie. A big boom and a big dig from El Nadi. She tries to trickle it over, and she can't. ASU sides out 15-14.
And that one, El Nadi went to her right a little bit, tried to get the ball to go to her left, kind of hit the side of the ball.
And Schroll can't get there.
And that one, Davis down the line with the kill there. Mary Schroll moving to her left, and that ball drops way too quickly for her.
2-point advantage for KU. A rotation here for Bouchard. And Jania comes back in, replacing Jillian Neal, the serving specialist. Back deep to serve for the Jayhawks. It's Caroline Bien. 16-14, set 2. Full house here at Mullet. ASU fans showing out for this midweek matchup. Sear denied at the net. London Davis with the perfectly executed stuff. 17-14.
And that block there, perfect, almost one-on-one in terms of where the blockers were and where Jelly Sear was. And Sear just swinging away right into the block. I'm hoping to see from her a little bit more of that pinpointed shots rather than that hard swing, especially against this strong blocking team from Kansas.
Boom, pushes it to Sear. She has to do a little stutter step to get there. Racing to that ball is Turner. She places it very nicely for Davis, who gets it across. Now here comes Sear, and she gets the kill. Jelly Sear rises from the deep and slams it down. Side out Sun Devils.
And there's that pinpoint accuracy I was just mentioning, where she's able to find that hole. Again, not showing much emotion, Jelly Sear. Business as usual for her, but you can tell she's a bit frustrated as she's swinging.
17-15. Another aggressive swing from El Nadi. Ricochets off the forearm of the Sun Devil defense. 18-15 KU.
And that block, Colheed and Rebello set up a little more inside as El Nadi's approach drove her inside the court, but El Nadi was able to turn that ball to her right, catch Rebello's right arm, and get the tool.
That serve goes out, and the Sun Devils get it right back. It's moments like these where ASU is needing to capitalize. This is the 5th service error of the match for KU, and it just doesn't seem like the Sun Devils have made them pay. You know, I gave that statistic about how efficient they are from the service line. In fact, no one is better than them in the Big 12, and they just haven't shown that here against Kansas. As Schroll digs that one, it spins onto KU territory. Dumping it over is Cameron Turner, and the pancake attempt is no good for Mary Schroll. A point for Kansas.
And that's another instance of being on her heels waiting for the hard driven. And Mary Schroll, a really strong libero for ASU, coming into this match, 407 digs, leading the team. But in this match, it looks like she's been a bit more on her heels, expecting some of the hard driven.
Sear with the receive. Sear now comes up. A dig there from Burns. Joust at the net. Sear too strong. Kansas gets there, and check that. Looks like there was a fingertip on there, and that's an ASU point.
And Jelly Sear, like I mentioned, looking a little frustrated there, and a little sigh of relief as she walked back to the service line on getting the correct call on that one, and able to show the touch to the up ref.
And she's been missing there a lot this match, so she caught a break there as some Kansas fingertips got on that volleyball. Nice defense there from Arizona State as they keep it alive. On the slide, Sear can't handle it. 20th point of the set for Kansas. It's 20-17.
And that swing, the pinpoint accuracy from the swing on that one from the slide, finding the hole between the blockers. That's what gets the point, and Bryn Covell waiting in right back just wasn't prepared to receive that swing.
Elnady, arguably the most efficient server on this Jayhawk team, sends it across as Colheed puts it where they ain't.
And Colheed from the slide is efficient when she's hitting hard, but she also proven she can be efficient when she's playing with shots. That one drops just behind the blockers as no one's really there to pick it up.
Trailing by 2, here's Mary Schroll with the serve. On the slide again, off the touch, and a point for Kansas.
And it looked like that one was going out of bounds, and Argentina just had too much momentum go and tried to save it and wasn't able to. Now ASU facing a 3-point deficit, and we'll see if they're able to regain that fire that they've been playing with so far this match.
It's Heidi Devers trying to run away with set 2. Scholl receives. Here comes Cromartie with a full head of steam. Kansas slows it down. They'll try on the opposite side. Shania can't handle it. A kill for Ryan Swanson.
And that kill came off the touch off the block, and then Cromartie had to try and make a play on it. Put her hands up a little too late as the ball's already crossing over. And so Kansas has been able to build a strong team around those returners.
It's surprised we haven't seen Zoe Burgess, the former Utah Gatorade Player of the Year, as Cromartie gets stuffed at the net by Cameron Turner.
And that one, you see, she just unable to get that ball over. Cameron Turner, only 5'8" herself. So a battle of two of the shorter players, and that one Turner wins out.
Covell to Cheater, and catching KU lacking that time were the Sun Devils.
And that set wasn't perfect. It wasn't even great. It was kind of a little off-speed set. Covell had to send it towards the net, and Jeter kind of had to get it behind her head, but worked out as they were able to catch the off-speed shot.
We're seeing that in real time. I talked about how Jeter's so good at adapting to different positions. She did that time, but KU has an answer immediately. It's set point for the Jayhawks.
And that one, Jeter and Rebello falling back on the block. They were a little bit early, and so they are coming down as the swing is coming in, and that's what puts that little gap between the arms and the net that allows the ball to squeak through, which it did there.
The lefty, Cameron Turner, with set 2 on the line. Cromartie with a full head of steam brings it down for the Sun Devils. Elnady can't handle it.
And right here, Jillian Neal comes in to serve, the serving specialist with the set on the line, and will this able all of ranked at some point last season. So for this matchup, the top 2 teams in the conference, it's big implications.
Set 3 is underway. Nice dig there from Jelly Sear as Turner sets it up on the near side. Another nice dig from Sear for ASU. Cromartie sizes that one up. Some topspin over there. Now it's the Jayhawks who send that one just inside the white tape. They strike first in set 3.
And that one goes off the hands of Rebello and Jeter there. So a bit of a tool, actually, even though it ends up going out of bounds far side of the court, but a smart play from the hitter.
To Jeter. Miscommunication there, and ASU gets their first point.
And that one, an off-speed shot. Elnady running into it, gets it off one of her arms right in front of Reagan Burns, so Burns has to change direction to try chase it down. Isn't able to. You can see Elnady looks a little upset with herself, a little frustrated after that one.
Serving specialist Jillian Neal back there. And that one is in for the Sun Devils.
And that one just clips the back line the tiniest bit. That's the type of serves that ASU wants. The serves where the passers think it's going out of bounds. They let it fall. They watch it drop just inside the court.
Yeah, there's not much you can do when the ball is just tight roping that tape. It's 2-1 Arizona State as there's an aggressive swing from Elnady, one of her signature moves, and the Jayhawks tie it back up.
And that Rebello and Jeter were split a little bit. There was a big seam between them. Elnady was able to find an arm of one of the players, and that one drops just between them. If that is a perfect double block, 4 hands across, that ball does not get through.
Elnady with the serve. Cuts it just over the net. Here's Jeter. She gets stopped, and check that. That's a point for the Sun Devils. She just gets it over the net.
And that one squeaks through the block like we've mentioned. That's the thing with these strong blocking teams like Kansas, and so far in this game, like ASU, is eventually the block will start to falter a little bit, and that's when those holes become apparent.
Tough placement there for Kansas. They try to recover. Instead, they just send it across the net. Ung pushes it across to Sear, who tips it over. Diving stop there from Swanson. Now it's KU. Now Ung behind her back, and Robello gets the point for Arizona State. And
Robello on the one-on-one there with Ryan Swanson, able to find that tool and get the kill, putting the Devils up 2. And now with Jeter back to serve, we might see a bit of a change for Kansas in their swinging, trying to funnel the ball to Jeter, the middle playing back row right now.
4-2, and that serve trickles into the seats right next to the scoring table. 5-2 now, Sun Devils.
And we'd only seen one ace from the Sun Devils in the first 2 sets, now with 2 so far in this set.
3-0 scoring run for Arizona State. It's 5-2 Sun Devils as Jeter sends this one across again. Turner, big lob to Swanson. Flat-footed, Jeter got it. Now sliding for that one is Ung, falling to her knees there, and a kill for Anna Banjo.
And that Jelly Sear faked out by Cameron Turner. She jumped with the setter. Unfortunately, in that positioning, Sear should not be worried about the setter. Her priority is the slide, as that kind of switches the perspective for the blockers. And as that one, when she jumped with the setter, Anna Banjo had no block up and was able to get the kill.
Anna Banjo's at the line, and with no running start, she sends it over just fine. Robello with the tip, and the dive from Anna Banjo keeps it up. Now Colheed tries to push that one across. Swanson, Ung, Robello tries to tip it. Falling to her stomach is Cromartie, and what a rally for Kansas. They get another point.
And Cameron Turner there puts the finishing touch on that one, but Anna Banjo, a great dig earlier in the rally to keep it alive on a Robello tip, and that's the difference in that set, is that dig from Anna Banjo.
Here's Ung, nice feed to Jelly Sear with authority, makes it 6-4, Sun Devils side out.
And Sear playing with that emotion, not showing it, but definitely playing with some emotion, maybe some frustration after how the second set ended, and she pulls out her heavy swing there.
Big hole in the middle of that defense for KU, and Sear exposes it as Bryn Covell is back there, tries to hit the back right corner of Kansas. Here they are on the slide. There's a point for KU. That's Puttick.
Tosick there on the slide. She finds a touch off the block, and that one goes down the line into kind of a bit of a seam between the left back and middle back defenders. And that's a hole that ASU wants to cover up, so that's not a viable option from the swing.
Troll on the reception. Here's Cromartie from the 10-foot line. She just gets it across. And getting blocked at the net is Savannah Colheed.
And a one-on-one block there from Colheed. She puts both hands over the net. She makes a stirring move to her left where her shoulders kind of make the move. Her body stays straight, and she's able to adjust to the swing there. A one-on-one block. Like I mentioned earlier, the hitter's supposed to win there, and Colheed says no.
Service error for Jelly Sear. She hands it right back to this KU offense. And ironically enough, we talk about the potent blocking game for Kansas. Arizona State, with that Colheed block, just reached double digits faster than KU did. It's 10-8 right now in terms of blocking.
And the blocking is something we've seen a switch in the past few games for ASU. They weren't typically known as a blocking team before that U of A match, and since then the blocking has really become a strong suit for them.
There's Colheed on the slide, 8-6 Sun Devils.
And Colheed there with that patented slide with Argentina Ung. Her chemistry with the setter is what makes that play so potent from an offensive perspective.
Now it's Mary Schroll back there with a two-handed dribble, 6-8 Sun Devils. With some tough spin there. There's Turner on the set. There's another slide, this time for KU. And that is a point for the Devils.
And Tosick there, unable to get that one over the net. Cromartie was there as a block, so it's possible that messed with Tosick's head a little bit. Sometimes even just seeing a blocker can kind of switch the game plan in midair, and that one unable to get over the net.
9-6 Sun Devils as Schroll gets a little too greedy that time. Side out KU.
And we're seeing a bit more of the aggressive serving from ASU. They got 2 aces in this set. They want more, but in this tight of a match, even with a 3-point lead, Kansas has shown just how quickly they can flip the script.
Statistics for both sides are nearly identical. Tightly contested match as Cromartie gets the kill.
And Shania Cromartie there with her 6th kill of the game, 6 kills, 5 errors. So she hasn't been as efficient as she has been in recent matches, but still holding on to make an impact for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, not a lot of efficiency tonight for ASU, except for Savannah Colheed, who's been working that slide per usual tonight. As there's a top spinner there from El Nadi. There's Cromartie trying to tip it right over the net. They'll try again with El Nadi. She gets rejected by Claire Jeter.
Jeter putting 2 hands up and over, almost curving over a little bit, and the ball hits right into her forearms down for the block. The 11th block for ASU in just 2 sets and change, and the blocking game has...
odds might be swaying in their favor, the top-ranked team in the Big 12. We'll come back out of the timeout. It's 11-7. Arizona State, we're underway. Here's Rebello on the swing on top of the head of El Nadi, and a point for the Devils, 12-7.
And Rebello showing her emotion there, getting excited. She wanted that one. She got the kill, her 7th kill of the match, and she's been writing her name across this game so far.
All of a sudden this season, having an impact with this team. An awkward fall there from Caroline Bien, trying to keep that one up. Here's Ung, aggressive swing from Cromartie. Nice recovery from Kansas though. They send it across flat-footed as Ung will feed it up again to Robello off the fingertips, diving there. Nice recovery from Caroline Bien. Now it's Schroll who dives. Jeter finds the gap and makes it 13-7.
And that one, we saw swings from Cromartie, from Rebello, and then Jeter to end it out. ASU showing they can get kills from all their players rather than just feeding the same player throughout the rally. Reagan Burns with great defense to keep that rally alive, but Claire Jeter able to finish it out.
How about this, a 6-point lead for the Sun Devils. They've just found a new life up until El Nadi puts an end to their winning ways. A 4-0 scoring run comes to an end for the Sun Devils. And the Jayhawks side out 13-8.
And on that one, you could see right after Mary Stroll and Argentina Ung just saying next ball to their teammates, just wash away the previous point and get back to that winning way that they have been so far.
Cromartie, more aggression and more points. 14-8 Sun Devils, they side out.
And Shania Cromartie just playing with fire, playing with energy. She knows that from a passing perspective, she's going to be the target. She knows that she's not the tallest player on the court, but when she gets up to swing, she is looking for blood.
It's nice to see that confidence and going all out on the swing as there's a service ace for in doing so. Kind of a unique team in that way. As Neal sends it over, it's received by Burns. Off the fingertips of Kansas, there's Ung who feeds it to Sear. She gets stopped at the net. It looks like it hit the antenna, so it's a point for ASU.
And that a tool off the block. Sear, she's going at it from an angle, but she's swinging almost to the right of the ball. That is a play where she's trying to find hands, especially on a tight ball like that. She swings off the hands, and that ball drops out of bounds for the kill.
ASU picks up right where they left off, a 3-0 scoring run as there's a block from Sear and Jeter. Combine them into one person.
Their 12th block of the match so far. That one goes off of Anna Banjo. She tried to duck out of the way, but just couldn't get out of the way, and that one goes down as a block for ASU.
17-8 Sun Devils. Cameron feeds it behind her back. Tough swing there from Anna Banjo. Now a big one from Robello off the fingertips, up at the net from El Nadi. 18-8, 10-point advantage for ASU.
And now Sun Devils showing some emotion. Rebello getting excited for that one. You mentioned that 10-point lead. That's a great swing from Rebello, able to see the blocker shifting to her left. She's drifting. She finds the arm in midair to get the tool.
Neal floats that one across As the Sun Devils handle the firepower from El Nadi just fine. Kansas starting to scramble as El Nadi with some nice placement, but Ung is there sliding on one knee to recover. Sear trying to find a hole. There's a dive from Bien. Nice rally here between these two. Here comes Rovella with a swing. Another dig this time by Bien. They'll send it across once more. Schroll, high lob, Sear, 10-foot line. Dug out by Burns. Here comes KU again. Some fingertips, but Arizona State recovers. Sear stopped at the net. Nice block by Kansas as they end the reign of Arizona State. That 4-0 scoring run comes to a screeching halt. It's 18-9.
And Cameron Turner and Toyosi Anabanjo combining for that block to get the stop. Immediately after that rally, JJ Vaniel walked up to give Rebello a high five just for her great swings. And to Jillian Neal as well for her digs in the back row. ASU kept that rally going as long as they could.
Rebello taking advantage of the opportunity she's having in the middle of the season as Sears' swing is too hot to handle.
And now the Sun Devils with a 19-9 advantage in this set. Jelly Sear bringing out that energy. The crowd is getting loud. The student section getting loud.
ASU with a chance to reach 20 points before Kansas can even reach double digits. As the announcer's curse comes into play, it's 19-10, Sun Devils. KU sides out.
That one off the block, and Mary Schroll reaching out to get to it. Can't quite reach it in time. Still a 9-point advantage for ASU.
Heidi Devers, the Kansas native. Sophomore outside hitter back to serve, standing at 5'4". Cromartie plays off that one. Now here comes Sear. Tipped and floated from the 10-foot line. Nice dig from Mary Schroll. We'll try again on the swing of Sear. And she can't get it over. A point for KU.
And Sear was looking for the touch on that one, but didn't quite go over the net as Kansas picks up their second point in a row. ASU now looking to close this one out as quick as they can.
Jayhawks slowly creeping back as Cromartie receives that one. Big lob for Rebello, and that one is too wide right. Another point for Kansas. They bring it within 7.
Looked like she might have caught a bit of the line there, although seeing as the line judge is right there, I think the call was correct. Rebello looking for that call, didn't get it.
Another serve and a service error for the 5'4" Heidi Devers. 20-12 Sun Devils.
And now Bryn Covell comes in to serve. This is where things will get interesting for ASU, whether they decide to continue having Argentina Ung set from the front row running a 2-person offense, or if Bryn Covell will do the setting, allowing the Sun Devils the option from Ung on the right side.
Turner and a big swing from Ryan Swanson. They get it right back.
And the Jayhawks saying that this match isn't over. This set is not over yet. Even though they are down, they're still going to keep playing the way they have been. And that is one of the key things for Ray Bichard's offense and his team in general, is that they continue playing well even under pressure and when facing a deficit.
On the slide, there's Colheed. She finds a gap.
And that placement of that swing, so strong for her to see the court, see that the players are shifting and cover that line shot, and she finds the hole in the cross court. The ball looked like it was going to get over her head, and she wasn't going to quite get to it. She was able to wrap her arm around it and keep it in play.
Turner up to Swanson. Punched around at the net. Cromartie falling backwards sends it across. Big swing from KU. Falling to her left was Sear. A whiff for Savannah Colheed, and Cromartie can't get there in time. 21-14.
The set from Ung just a little bit too far over Colheed's head, and she's right-handed, and so that one was even past her left shoulder. And Cromartie was there, but since the ball had dropped too far already, she was unable to get it up and over the net. Sun Devils still lead it by 7.
Here's Caroline Bien, one of the more efficient servers on this KU roster, coming to this one with 21 aces to 11 errors, as Cromartie gets stopped at the net by London Davis.
And the Jayhawks now playing with intensity. They kind of fell flat for the middle part of this set, ASU able to get on the big run and stretch out the lead to 10, but Kansas now coming back, still down 6, but looking to make it less.
Here's Colheed, little extra steps to jump up for that one. Top spin to Covell, big lob to who dunks it off. Nice recovery from Cameron Turner. She was prepared for that one. There's a block, and that one goes wide right off of Arizona State.
One dig away from another double-double, has now reached 300 kills on the season.
Yeah, last game against Utah, a 6-game double-double streak ended for Jelly Sear. She had 7 kills with 8 digs. Sets it up. Nice dig from Schroll. Once again, here's Sear from the 10-foot line. The whistle blows, and it's a point for KU.
And now we're going to have to start seeing those smart swings from ASU. They've played with a little bit more of those hard swings, and now they've allowed Kansas to creep back in a 4-point lead, a 10-point lead cut down to 4. And so we'll see if ASU is able to flip the switch on this one.
21-17, there's Cromartie on the reception as Colheed slams it down right in front of the net, 22-17, side out Devils.
And yet another one there that just goes under the blocker's arms in between the net and the blocker. She's able to find the hole there as that one drops just right around the pitchfork area.
Here's Schroll on the serve. She topples that one across the net as Turner lobs it up, and a aggressive swing from El Nadi, bringing the heat.
And El Nadi there on the cross-court shot. That one, she's swinging away from her body on the outside. It's a tough shot to make, especially at the angle she's coming in on. And for that one to land inside the court just shows how strong of a hitter she is.
A service error for Kansas. They hand it right back to Arizona State and award them another point, 23-18.
And ASU now back into what's arguably one of their stronger rotations. Argentina Ung in the back row, allowing 3 options from the front row, and Jelly Sear in the back row. And we'll see if they're able to end this one out here.
Turner up to El Nadi. She brings a frozen rope once again, and they side out right away.
And Aya El Nadi, the 5'10 senior, showing that this set is not over yet, and that if she has anything to say about it, it'll keep going until Kansas is able to get on top. For ASU, they now have to side out to try and get the ball back, 2 points away from closing out this set.
4-point deficit for Kansas. Here's Jeter. She finds a gap and brings it down with authority. Set point for the Sun Devils.
And now this is the situation the Sun Devils want to be in. Jelly's her hand, no. But JJ Vigneault making the decision to challenge it regardless after looking back to Presley Anderson on the sideline. Up from here, it looked like that ball landed in.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough call there, but we're down by 4. Fans getting loud. Back to serve is their best hitter, Aya El Nadi. Schroll to Jeter with the finessery, and the Sun Devils. So she helped greatly in that match against the Mountaineers. So kind of surprised we're not seeing a Patak and maybe a Burgess tandem in this game.
Well, the interesting thing to point out here is Zoe Burgess, 65 kills, 30 blocks. So she has gotten a fair amount of playing. Reese Potasic, 73 kills, 49 blocks. So that's the discrepancy there. And Anna Banjo has 175 kills, 78 blocks. She leads the team in blocks and third on the team in kills. So that's, or fourth on the team, I should say. And that's why Anna Banjo was playing. And so coming down to those 2 freshman middle blockers, it's in this matchup, and as tight of a matchup as it has been, head coach Ray Bouchard chooses to go with Potasic, who has a few more kills, a few more blocks, maybe even a little bit more experience so far this season.
A position middle blocker that is just filled with talent. A pretty tough competition on KU, but they got some incredible talent on the way as Savannah Colheed starts out and shoots this one wide left. 1-0 Kansas. They strike first.
And a bit of a low set there from Argentina Ung. Colheed had to drop her arm and try to push it out, and she should have taken some speed off of it and didn't, so that one goes out of bounds as Bryn Covell ducks out of the way of that one.
It almost clipped a shin there for Bryn Covell. She got tied up there. One foot was on top of the other. She was lucky to keep her balance that time. 2-1 advantage for Arizona State. It's Jelly Sear. With some momentum, it's KU. There's a block for Arizona State. They'll try once more on the swing. Big block from Colheed, but the Jayhawks recover. Oong now sets it up to Cromartie, who drops it down. Nice recovery from Burns, but it launches into the scorer's booth. 2-1 Sun Devils.
Back-to-back big blocks from Cromartie and Colheed, but the Jayhawks there to pick it up on every play. An interesting thing I noticed is in this rotation, they have all three of their hitters on the left side. London Davis runs all the way around the back of the court in the previous rotation, or in the previous time they were in this rotation.
And there's an ace for Jelly Sear, 3-1 Sun Devils as the bench does circles.
And here, Kansas switching it up again. Now they have Bien, Davis, and Anna Banjo all on the left side of the court, and London Davis is going to run all the way around the outside of the court.
Here's Sear, dropping this one right on top of the 10-foot line. Backhanded push for Kansas as Oong serves it behind her head. A big block there from Caroline Bien to stop Colheed on the slide.
And Bien sets up there on the left side of the net, has her left arm almost at the antenna, and she's able to put up the block there, pushing the Jayhawks into into their 11th block of the match.
So now Bien, standing in at 5'5", is back there to serve. Schroll recovers or receives that one. Oong tries to dump it off. Surprisingly, the bench screaming to let that one go. Good advice because it was out. 4-2 Arizona State.
And now Mary Schroll back to serve. In this rotation, the Sun Devils have Argentina Oong front row, so she's an option from a dump perspective. She can also step back, let Bryn Covell set, and she goes to hit.
Last minute dodge there for Kansas. Good set of peepers there for Caroline Bien to let that one go. A serve from Mary Schroll is too strong. 4-3 Sun Devils.
And Anna Banjo steps back to serve. She does not do a jump serve. She chooses to stand serve instead.
Oong on the swing. Hello. She can do that too. 5-3 Sun Devils.
And she takes advantage there of Anna Banjo in the left back position with a bit of an inexperienced defender, even as a middle blocker. Oong takes advantage of that and puts it away for the kill.
She wins that one-on-one and now is back there to serve. Tries to hit that same player she just got past on the attack. As Kansas regroups, there's a softer swing from El Nadi as Cromartie top spins this one over. Nice pancake from Bien. Now another swing for KU. ASU's turn as Cromartie swings and hits off the head of some Jayhawks, and it's 6-3 Devils.
And that swing is so important in this match. It sets the Devils up now by 3 and allows them to start working their magic. They have Argentina Oong in the back row. There are 3 hitters in the front row. This is the rotation they wanted to be in.
Soft touch there from El Nadi. Big lob to Cromartie. She gets stuffed at the net. Troll trying
set, and that was the reason the first set was so close.
Classic journalism major moment as Argentina Oong has reached her 6th double-double of the season. She has 38 assists and 10 digs on the night as Kansas gets the point coming out of the timeout.
And you mentioned Argentina Oong with another double-double. She's at 38 assists and 10 digs for her. So that double-double is how that one plays out.
Cromartie receives it. Oong sets it up to Robello. You have a miscommunication there, but the Jayhawks stay alive. Big block from Jeter and Robello. They'll try once more, this time on the slide. Schroll keeps it up. Now it's Sear. Cromartie from the 10-foot line now sends it across. Nice recovery from ASU on defense. Cromartie tips it, and no one can get there.
And Reese Potasic on the slide there. She gets that one over. Robello slides in behind the blockers trying to pick it up, but one of the blockers, Claire Jeter or Shanae Cromartie, reached back a little bit, and Robello was unable to pick that one up behind them.
7-5 now. KU trails by 2. A push there from Jeter, and with the foot that time, Reagan Burns just spins it right behind the net. 8-5 Sun Devils.
And now Jillian Neal back into serve. With 2 service aces already this match, she has been what the Sun Devils need from a serving perspective, especially in a match. It's a 3-point advantage, but it's still close.
Riding the hot hand as she, a little too greedy that time, sends it past the lettering on the Kansas side.
And this is the rotation the Sun Devils need to capitalize in, with Aya El-Nadi back row and Cameron Turner in the front row. Only 2 options from the front row hitting, although they do have to respect El-Nadi in the back row. She's shown that she can be a strong weapon for the Jayhawks from that back row attack.
Yeah, we're seeing her mix it up. You mentioned it a little earlier, talking about them utilizing the tip and the softly hit balls, because in the first and second set, she was just going in guns a-blazing. And we're seeing that from the 10-foot line, where it's a little more topspin, a little more action with the wrist. So ASU defense trying to adjust to that as Sear comes through in a big way there. Now she brings some heat from the 10-foot line, El-Nadi does. And another point for the Jayhawks. They bring it within 1.
And there's that weapon I was just mentioning from the back row, that El-Nadi can get kills no matter where she is on the court. So the Sun Devils have to respect that weapon and that option for Kansas.
Here comes Jelly Sear, full head of steam, and a point for Arizona State.
And she goes off the block of Potasic and Turner on that one, able to get the kill there as that ball just kept going out of bounds.
Still a statistically identical night between these two teams. The only separator is that service ace number, 5-1 in favor of Arizona State. As they regroup here, Sear steps up, top spins this one across. Here they come on the slide, and it is too wide left. Point for the Sun Devils. They reach double digits.
And that great eyes on that one from Shania Cromartie, seeing that ball is going out of bounds. She calls it in the air rather than watching it all the way. She knew that one was going out, and she called her teammates off of it right away.
Big swing from Swanson at the block. KU keeps it up. Swanson again, Cromartie. Awkward footing there, just stuck out her fist. There's a point for KU.
She stuck out her left arm, and on the trajectory of the ball, her arm kind of hit the ball at a weird angle, and the ball drops. If she gets both arms there, she's able to kind of lift the ball up. She wasn't there, and immediately she kind of clapped her hands together in frustration at not getting her other arm up.
To Robello, kind of an awkward setup there, but she comes through with the point anyway. Point Sun Devils.
Robello there with the strong minded play. She goes up for the tip rather than trying to go for a heavy swing there. They're letting Robello serve right now rather than Bryn Covell, as they have had typically throughout this set.
11-8, Arizona State. As no one even moved on Kansas' side.
And Roberta Robello immediately putting her arms out to her teammates. Excited for that one. Reagan Burns just kind of watched that one drop. She and Aya El-Nadi right between them, only a couple feet in front of them. An easy ball for either of them to a pass, but neither one went for it.
Free point for the Sun Devils. It's 12-8 now. This time Burns moves her feet. Across the court, it's Swanson. Schroll with a notable effort, but punches it below the net. Jayhawks side out.
And that one we had there, Shania Cromartie, Mary Schroll, and Robello all right in the same area for that one. Mary Schroll ended up going for it and just couldn't get to it fast enough. And now for the Jayhawks, they have Cameron Turner is back row setting now, so they have 3 options in the front row.
3-point deficit for Kansas as Sear winds up to get stopped at the net. Now it's Ung who'll give it a try. Setting it up, it's Kansas. Nice dig from Cromartie. Other side to Sear with authority, brings it down.
Jelly Sear, her 12th kill of the night so far. Like we've mentioned, the efficiency is not there, but when she needs to get a big kill, she does, as she showed in that moment just there.
This one grazes the top of the netting on the serve. Wow, violent swing there as Covell keeps it alive, as so does Schroll on the nice effort. They'll push it across the other side. Swanson and some Sun Devil arms hit that one out of bounds. 13. About the defensive effort there from Arizona State.
That dig was so important for the Sun Devils. Bryn Covell just gets underneath it, gets a touch on it. Even though Mary Schroll has to chase it down, she goes and gets that one, brings it back in, and then on the block, Argentina Ung and Savannah Colheed just set up a little too far inside for where Swanson was coming in. That one goes off their arms.
Still healthy signs for that defense as Van Niel shows some teeth. Cromartie trying to get that one in the back left corner. Little too long though. 13-11, they bring it within 2.
And the Sun Devils still playing like they're up 5. They're able to play with that fire rather than feeling like that crunch is with the tight score. And we'll see how that continues to play out throughout this set.
Troll over to Cromartie. She gets stopped at the net by London Davis.
And a bit of an awkward play there as Savannah Colheed is forced to set that ball just because of where she is. JJ Van Niel stepping up to talk with the down ref. Not making any moves there, but just letting his players figure it out on the court for now.
Still a 1-point set. Serve from Kansas. Now they'll try again with Cromartie, and that's a point for the Sun Devils. The return is wide right.
Cromartie with her 11th kill of the match. Now she has 9 errors as well, so the efficiency is something we'll keep paying notice to. But she was able to get the kill there and stretch the 2-point advantage.
She's 3 digs away from a double-double as well, Shania Cromartie is. As Schroll digs that one out, there's Jeter with an awkward push across the net. Nice dig from Schroll. And the whistle blows. It goes towards Kansas.
And that, a net violation there for Claire Jeter. She gets a little too close to the net. The down ref has been incredibly quick to call it so far this set.
Still a 1-point set. The entire coaching staff for KU right next to the hardwood as they retreat back to the bench. Back to serve, Heidi Devers. Awkward set from Schroll. There's Jeter as that one goes into the scorer's table.
And that quick swing for Jeter off the quick set from Ung catches the Kansas defense off guard on that one a little bit. Typically they're used to a bit of a higher set from the middle, and that very fast tempo allows Claire Jeter to be so successful as she picks up her 10th kill of the night.
15-13 Sun Devils. Big swing that time on the dig from Schroll, goes into the stands. KU just having a response for every ASU point. It's been difficult for the Sun Devils to go on a run like we saw in the previous set. Here's Ung up to Jeter. She tries to spike it down, but it stays alive. Now it's Cromartie trying to hit that back left corner, and she does so successfully this time.
And now we see the Devils start to have that fire and energy. They played with it this whole set, but now up 16-14. They're looking to stretch this lead as much as they can.
Looking to say, now we go, with the serving specialist, Jillian Neal, back there. 16-14, they're up by 2, ASU is. Hard swing from Kansas. They got a fingertip off Jillian Neal, and a point for the Jayhawks right away. El Nadi once again bringing the heat.
And El Nadi there now hits 20 kills on the night for her. The next closest for the Jayhawks is Ryan Swanson with 7, showing just how one-sided Kansas's offense is.
20 kills is a ridiculous number.
With only 3 errors.
Schroll up to Sear off the fingertips. More tippage from El Nadi. There's Robello, gets stopped at the net by Swanson. Now Sear, nice dig El Nadi, but the ball goes into the table once again.
And I want to mention real quick, Aya El Nadi has 13 digs, so she has picked up a double-double. She also 20 kills, 3 errors on 58 total attacks, so she's getting nearly 30 more than the next closest on the Jayhawks.
Nice block there from Colheed and company. They'll try again on the far side on Patak. There's Sear, nice dig from McGee. Near side, Swanson, she gets stopped by who other than Savannah Colheed, who's leading the charge in blocks tonight.
Savannah Colheed now. Jeter goes back to serve out of this timeout.
Jeter sends it across. Out of system is Kansas. Jeter, here comes Sear. Dug by Elnady. Out of play, Turner gets that one. And that one's out, wide left for Kansas. A point for the Devils.
And now as this set has progressed, we see that the game plan for ASU is now to force Kansas to make those errors. As Ryan Swanson steps out, Caroline Bien comes back in. It's to force Kansas to make the errors because ASU knows from a defensive perspective that they've been able to stick with them.
19-15. Here come the Jayhawks, and Colheed is there again. Rebello and Savannah Colheed bring the roof.
And Colheed with her 7th block, Rebello with her 6th, as now the Sun Devils are really showing how strong their blocking can be.
In a time where they need to do it most, against a team that is proficient in blocking, ASU's given them a piece of their own medicine, as that dive from Cromartie isn't enough. It trickles underneath the netting. 20-16 Sun Devils.
And now the Sun Devils knocking on the door of a victory here, but Kansas is not going to let this one end easily. They now have their stronger middle in Toyosi Anabanjo back on the court.
And we certainly learned that last set as well. Gearing up is Sear. Caught that one as she was falling back down. With the left hand, there was Cameron Turner. There's Rebello with aggression, and that's a point for Kansas.
And that one blocked almost straight down. It didn't look as big as it was. I feel like it hit off a little bit of Rebello, but she has a quick chat with Mary Schroll there in the right back and gets ready for the next one.
Jayhawks bring it within 3 now. Arizona State 20, Kansas 17, as Jelly Sear wakes everyone right back up.
And on that one, the entire bench comes roaring forward. Presley Anderson, Sean McDonald, Carly Bach, the 3 assistant coaches, they all move forward. Jelly Sear turns around like nothing happened. She gets ready for the next one. She's not rattled by these big moments, and she'll celebrate when it's over, but during the match, she's ready for the next point almost immediately.
Stone cold killer Jelly Sear as they tend to a wet spot on the hardwood. Never seen them dig into this court like this before.
Maybe someone's water spilled a little bit when the whole bench came forward, maybe a bit of sweat or something, but they're just making sure as a precaution to wipe that down, because with the tendencies of these teams, Kansas with their strong hitters, there's a chance we may see some rundowns into that back right corner.
21-17. Roberta Rebello back deep to serve. Try to get a little too tricky there and sends that one beyond the lettering on the KU side. They'll hand it right back.
And now Bryn Covell comes back in, and we'll see here Argentina Ung setting in the front row rather than running a traditional Bryn Covell set in the front row with the set the way it is.
Schroll receives. Here comes Sear. Nice dig from Reagan Burns. And that time it's a point for the Jayhawks. Looks like that block was unsuccessful for Arizona State. On the swing there was Caroline Bien. 21-19. Here comes Kansas.
And Bien able that one up, lets it to you know, the weird spin, lets it go, and trying to get the next one.
Cromartie eaten up by that serve a bit as Sear swings, and the block is wide right. ASU gets a point right back, 22-21.
And now Sear going back to serve, her 15th kill of the match, and that ended a 4-0 scoring run for Kansas, where they stormed back in again to cut the lead.
There's Sear, topples it over. There's Turner. Some hands on it. It was Colheed and Ung. Pushed across. Covell right behind the 10-foot line. Now it's Cromartie off some hands and out of bounds. 23-21 Sun Devils.
And this crowd getting super excited for that one. Now the Sun Devils only 2 points away from taking this match. Kansas still remaining calm and collected. Again, we'll see in this rotation, London Davis will run all the way around the court to get on the right side with Caroline Bien on the left.
As the team packed with studs, I wouldn't be surprised how calm their demeanor is in situations like this, trailing by 2. Here comes Cromartie with the firepower.
And that one there, she just put the exclamation point on that rally. She said that she wanted it to end right there. Interesting play for the Jayhawks as they ran a approach with their 3 hitters without having London Davis run all the way around the court. So we'll see if they do that again here.
Sun Devils lining up in victory formation, just 1 point away as that serve, they tried to pin the back right corner and it goes off the foot of the referee there, 24-22. So the victory will have to wait, at least for now. The entirety of Mullet Arena is on their feet though. Lob for Ung. Here comes Cromartie off the fingertips. There's the bump from El Nadi. Nice dig from Schroll. Here comes Shania. Hard swing there. Now it's Ung. Nice recovery from Kansas. Big swing and an even better dig from Mary Schroll. Here come the Jayhawks again on offense. Another dig from Schroll again, keeping it alive. Here's Sear from the 10-point line. She sends it across. Bump from Burns. Big ol' swing from London Davis, and it's Schroll all over this set. And Jelly Sear with the misplacement there, hits it right into the net.
And just an amazing rally from both teams. ASU taking their second timeout right now, trying to ice Caroline Bien from the service line. And the defense was on fire there for both teams.
Still in victory formation, but Kansas might have other plans. It is rocking in here at Mullet Arena. Caroline Bien is back to serve. Stadium pulse on maximum. Cromartie. Weird spin as some hands got on that one for KU. There's a big old swing and the ball is still up off a foot and Schroll can't get there. The Sun Devils thought they won the match and the ball was still in play.
That block was so strong. It's amazing that the Jayhawks were able to get it up off a foot, off a bit of a hand here and there. And ASU getting ready to celebrate, but Kansas said not yet.
Schroll falling to her chest. Here's Colheed on the slide. Diving Bien sends it over. Now it's Colheed on the slide again. It's Bien with another response, and it's inside the net.
And that slide is what the Sun Devils have needed from Savannah Colheed. She picks up her 8th kill. And now the Sun Devils just 1 point away. Again, Mary Schroll back to serve for the match.
Gotta win by 2. It's Mary Schroll back there as everyone holds up their pitchforks. Here comes the serve. Turner. Big swing, and that lands inside the white tape. El Nadi is there once again to keep this alive for Kansas.
And now we do it again. 25-25, like you said, have to win by 2. As Heidi Devers comes in to serve to try and keep this one going for Kansas. ASU now having Bryn Covell. She's going to set in this rotation. Argentina Ung giving them an option from hitting.
Now set 25. Nice vision from Jelly Sear, and they get the call just beyond the white tape, 26-25 on the service error.
And that was a lucky call for Jelly Sear. She elected to let it go. And how close it was a great guess for her, but would have been